Independent hoe, I'm all about my businesses. I consistently continue to bring energy and know that keep it popping like I'm full of electricity. Try to hold me out, I wish you would have the audacity. Take a rap laxative, now I'm shitting on the industry. Self-made not a title, cause it's my identity. And wear it on my skin like it's a part of my ethnicity. Mary keep on blowing like instruments in the symphony. They keep a player buzzing like Twitter when you mention me. Being 100's a everyday living tendency. And ain't faced by hating, it makes me increase my intensity.
YouTube world, what's good? What it do? I'm back again. Guess who it is? The one-man force, the eyes and flavor of DFW sports. Your super fan from the DFW land. Representing for everything in the DFW, how we always get down. Like he say, he ain't no insider or anything like that. He just a super fan holding it down. So, man, it's been hopefully everybody done had a great Wednesday, great hump day as we're coming into the late hours where most people are getting their shut-eye and getting ready for the next day. But I'm glad you were able to come in and tune in the DFW station of the fandom that we do down here on this sports section. So before anything, you already know, like, subscribe, hit that notification chime for your boy one time. Follow me on X at Drewski Self-Made. We got a lot of things going here as the Mavericks ended up falling to the San Antonio Spurs tonight. We'll talk about that coming. We'll give you the post-game reaction to that. Rangers spring training victory over the Reds today. We'll go over that as well as some injury news coming out of the Rangers camp. We'll also talk Dallas Cowboys free agency as you get some more players that leave, some more players to arrive. Get into that. The Dallas Stars they are off. They will return back to the ice later at the end of this week. But I will give my reason why I've been continuing to say that the Dallas Stars are basically the Metroplex hottest team next to the TCU women's basketball squad. But we got that going on as well. We got live game action right now in the ACC tournament. SMU against Syracuse. SMU right now at the free throw line up 34-28, trying to make this a touchdown game real quick on the free throw. Boop. Yep, and that counts. Is that Boopy Miller? 35-28 SMU in the SEC, and they're a 22-win team right now. They just don't have no big marquee victories. They're one of them teams sitting out there on the bubble, so it's going down like that at that type of way. But let's just jump into it. The Mavs take them a L tonight, man. And like I said, man, the Mavs play hard, bro. They really do play hard. They just don't have enough. They don't have enough. They just don't have enough. Looking at this game, bro, look at it. They didn't shoot bad. 55% from the field. That's great. They hit 13 threes. 40% from the three-point arc is not terrible. You know what I'm saying? They actually did good enough offensively. It was just the rebounds and defensively. You know, you look at the rebound game, they got crushed today. And that really kind of set the tone for the Mavericks tonight as they still battled and gave it all they had. Coming out in the second half, in the early third quarter when they came out, they did not start the game the way they should have. And they got behind the 8-ball. But they were able to end up closing it and getting it close. All of a sudden, you know, Dante Exum's going to the rack that we thinking is a foul call that's, you know, on San Antonio. It comes to be reviewed, challenged by San Antonio, and they get the challenge successful for him, and it was an offensive foul on Dante Exum. Like, right after that, the momentum went down for the Mavericks. They turned the ball over 2 consecutive times after that. San Antonio was able to put a little bit more grabs on the game right there, and it put the Mavericks in a situation where they had to keep fighting from behind. They actually one time had a lead in this game, you know, but to all is each well. Both teams really, you know, didn't shoot terrible from the free throw line. You'd like to see us hit a little bit more free throws, but 17 free throw attempts out of 32 three-point attempts. I always say that's kind of what, to me, measures what the game is. You look at 55% from the field, but, 13 to 32 three-point shot, out of your threes. But you get to the free throw line 17 times, you can be a little bit more aggressive. But I think they tried to be aggressive, but you know what killed them tonight? 18 turnovers. There go that bugaboo right there. 18 turnovers. That ain't going to get it for you. It's never gonna get it. It's never gonna get it. 18 turnovers now. San Antonio did you a favor by turning it over 16 times, but 18 turnovers when you're shorthanded, bro, the margin of error is very thin for the Mavericks. You talk about walking on the thinnest sheet of ice that's out there. And that's just basically what they're going up against. I mean, how much you can do? 3 offensive rebounds. So basically, when y'all put up a shot and it didn't go in, that was a wrap. That was a total wrap. So that hurt. Now you still got good ball movement. 30 assists. Mavs had great ball movement tonight, bro. They really did. Now, and like I said, I know a lot of people have jumped off the bandwagon and all that. You know, they done jumped off the fan. And you know, to each his own is how it is. But for the ones who still trying to find a glimmer of hope, bro, making the playoffs, I don't know. What do we got going live? Ain't Phoenix playing Houston right now? And Houston beat Phoenix. So Phoenix don't want the 10th. They don't want the 10th spot. That's really what it looks like. And that's what prided me on the previous live that we did. You're kind of stuck in this situation where most likely you should not play Anthony Davis, but you're going to probably have to. You're probably going to have to. You're going to probably have to run with him. Just for the simple fact, nobody wants the 10th spot. It looks like Phoenix don't want it, and their schedule continues to get tough down the stretch. And then Portland, you know, they got a far way to climb. So, like he said, it's like Phoenix don't want it, and their schedule gets tougher. Looking at it, so you're stuck in this situation where, bro, you're not gonna. You're not contending for no title, but can you at least get some postseason play? It'll be a quick exit, but damn. For the Mavs to even get, if they were to get in the play-in tournament, number one, and then we're able to get into the playoffs, bro, there's no moral victories because nobody agrees with the Luka Doncic trade. But at the same time, bro, you're going to have to keep giving the players their props. You're going to have to. You don't have to. Well, the players ain't did nothing. They ain't did nothing but not quit. So I respect it. Everybody was in double figures except Max Christie and Caleb Martin. Caleb Martin played hard, though. I really liked his activity. I don't know what's going on with Max Christie right now, bro. I really don't. I don't know what's going on with Max Christie. I see the chat just blown up. Little CJ, what's up? Bro. And if the Mavericks were going to win this game, you're going to be like, bro, they're going to mess around and get in the play-in tournament. But like I said, Phoenix, their schedule gets harder, and it just seems like they don't want it neither. Now, the Mavs do play Houston, Friday? So you could probably see that as a loss. Phoenix plays Sacramento Friday. Like he said, Phoenix really don't want the 10th seed. They really don't. But the Mavs had this game. What up, Mr. Cowboy? What's good, yo? What's good, yo? Getting my daily wrap, nightly cap of some DFW sports, man. Mavericks tried to pull it off. But, I'm going to talk about these Cowboys coming up here soon. They done made some more moves, had some departures, had some people leave, had some people stay. So, I'm going to talk about that here in a second. Just let me get this Maverick stuff up off my chest. Going back to it, mostly everybody contributed except Max Christie and Caleb Martin. And really the shine is starting to wear off on Big Shot. SMU on a 7-0 run right now to start off the ACC tournament against the Syracuse Orange. 10-point lead for the Ponies, 38-28. They're in the second. So we'll take this live all the way down to the end of this SMU game. Why not? Why not? Why not? So stay up on a late hump day night with your boy. Do some things. But Max Christie, bro, we gotta have more, bro. We gotta have more, because for some reason it's like you don't even really notice him that much on the court. That's really kind of where he's starting to get to. And for dudes like Brandon Williams, man, bro, time out, bro. Brandon Williams, dog, is gonna get him a spot in the NBA, bro. There's no two-way contract, no G League. Forget all that, bro. That dude is a player, bro. He is a straight up player, bro. I don't want to say he looked like Kyrie tonight, but there was some things that was very reminiscent as far as, you know, the nonstop dribble penetration and then finishing at the rack. Now he got swatted a couple times, but Brandon Williams, I can honestly say him and Kessler Edwards, they made it to where this team can't tank because they're just playing that good. They really are playing that good. 19 points from Brandon Williams. And like he said, you look at him, he looked like he belonged. He hungry. Spencer Dinwiddie gave you 14. Could have got a little bit more, but you know, Klay Thompson with 12, bro. You gotta do more. He only took 9 shot attempts. Najee Marshall has clearly been the vocal point of the offense. His Najee floater is really key, bro. And it really works. As you see, he's damn near him and Spencer getting most of the minutes. He gave you 15 points. You know what I'm saying? The team really contributed. Kessler Edwards, really his game stood out. Him and basically Brandon Williams, their game stood out tonight. If you had to look at anybody that did anything, they stood out tonight. Now, we're still waiting on word what's going on with Anthony Davis. You know, Daniel Gafford, PJ Washington. Supposedly word came around that PJ Washington would probably be available for the Houston game. So that's somewhat of a positive. That's somewhat of a positive right there. What else can you do? You know, like I said on the last slide, bro, the Mavericks are stuck. So it looks like they're going to be in a position where they still can get the play in. Now they might get bounced out, but why go into it? Once you get into the play in, you can kiss those. If you're even close to the play in, you can kiss the lottery picker goodbye. You could already kiss it goodbye. So, like I said, even if you would have tanked the rest of the games, I still don't think it makes a difference. So, like I said, thanks to Nico and this organization, you have put yourself in a situation where you're stuck. You're stuck, and you're going to have to try to make something happen for it. Mavs take a 10-point loss. I'm pretty sure Jason Kidd and the rest of I'm pretty sure let me see if anybody got anything reporting on Jason Kidd in the post game. See what his thoughts is before I move up off this subject, because ain't nobody trying to hear nothing about no Mavericks, bro. And it's a damn shame just because, you know, what the front office has did. But I don't know, man. That second quarter for the Spurs really got it. 44 points you give up in the second quarter, and then, like I said, a lot of it was just because of the rebounding. And then the third quarter, what hurt you right there was you started off slow, and it just was a continuation. De'Aaron Fox really went off. What do you have? What, 34? No, he had 32. He really got off. There was no stopping De'Aaron Fox tonight. But the Mavericks had their chance. They just don't have enough, bro. They just don't have enough. So Mavericks got to rebound. They got to regroup. They play Houston Friday, so they get, you know, a day rest in between, and then they try to do something. So that's all they can do is just try to shake back and get off the snot. What up, Two Guns? What's good, my guy? Appreciate you for joining the chat, man. Appreciate you for doing that. Hey, bro, that that chant right there is like viral right now. You know, the Fire Nico thing is like real everywhere else. And what's crazy is, you know, a lot of people will say, how is it gaining more steam around everywhere? I'm pretty sure the Rangers, you'll see opening day, opening weekend, when we play y'all Red Sox, you're going to hear a Fire Nico chant go through there. I just guarantee you. It done went through the Stars. The Stars, they were more loud in that thing than Mavs fans, than the FC Dallas. Not, like I said, I'm not going to do it because a lot of people want to do it during the free throws and stuff like that. Not like that. But if you're gonna do it during the timeout or stuff like that, go ahead. Go ahead. But to be doing it at medieval times, that ain't medieval time. I mean, you can say they have sport because they own the horses and they doing all that, but bro, at medieval times they yelling fire, Nico, it's breaking out, bro. Like you might go to a Pop Warner game and that chant might break out. So it's just crazy, bro. It's crazy. And I'm telling you, Ranger season start in 2 weeks, literally 2 weeks, y'all. And you're gonna hear a fire Nico chant go through there. I guarantee you. I guarantee you. Make sure y'all check out my boy channel. My man Mikey Two Guns. Check out his channel, Our Bleeping City. He hold it down for all Boston sports. My man, hey, I'm looking to get you on this. I'm trying to get you on the channel to do a live for the opening weekend. You know what I'm saying? We got y'all, Boston, Texas, both our teams. So, holla at me on that Wednesday. We can do a little, basically our team's preview and then basically just get into the series going in to opening weekend. I got a lot of surprise for a lot of folks out there. Baseball season, you're going to see this face a lot of times. I got big plans for opening night. So y'all like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and y'all going to stay up to date how we're going to have it. I see this channel, We Rock Harder one, especially we give y'all game day footage, pre-lives from the game and all that stuff. We're looking to up it up another level coming this season, especially coming with the stars coming as well. So, yeah. Bet. So that's a bet. Like I said, we can do one Tuesday and we can do one Wednesday. We can do one on your channel and then we can do one on my channel. You know what I'm saying? So let me know how it go. I like to bless your channel and you can bless my channel. You know what I'm saying? Do it that way. So I got you, bro. Let's do something. Little CJ, what you got? Phoenix got smacked today. They gonna miss the play. And this is where, I kept saying here, especially on the previous lives, bro. I said, dog, the Mavericks are put in a situation where they just might have to win it. They might just have to not win it, but there is no tanking because Phoenix don't want the 10th seed, bro. And their schedule is gonna get harder. The schedule is gonna get harder. So they keep losing, it won't even matter. Now you put yourself in a situation, Anthony Davis and Daniel Gafford and PJ, if y'all are available, it would help. It would help. Because I still think personally, the way the Mavericks are playing, the way they're playing with heart right now, I personally think PJ, Daniel Gafford, Anthony Davis is enough to win a play-in game, and it's enough. Well, it's not enough to beat the Nuggets or the Thunder because that's basically what you're gonna get if you get out the play-in. But I believe those three players, they can beat Sacramento in a one-game situation. Can they beat Minnesota? If you got your bigs, I think they can beat Minnesota. I doubt it. Let's look at the standing real quick, or do we have it up here? Let's look at the standings real quick. Okay. So you got the Clippers at the A seed. So you mean to tell me PJ, Daniel Gafford, and Anthony Davis, I think you can beat Sacramento in a one game, and I think you can beat the Clippers. Now, the Timberwolves, that's a different story. But if it's Golden State, the Clippers, and Sacramento, I feel basically all the California teams not named the Lakers, I feel the Mavericks can beat in a one-game situation with Anthony Davis, Daniel Gafford, and PJ Washington with the rest of the crew that they got. Now, the Timberwolves, to me, will probably be the only one that I don't think they could beat in a one-game situation. But even if they do win out, you're just getting a ticket to the Nuggets or the Thunder. And I'd rather lose to the Nuggets than the Thunder because, it's a rivalry now. All of a sudden, they call it. So, and it sucks because we still had Luka Doncic. This rivalry could keep going, but unfortunately, that ain't the question. That is not the question. What we got? Once the Fire Nico chant start at Sunday service, it's over from bro. Like, Boy can't even go to church. They yelling, fire Nico. In the name of the Lord, fire Nico. That's what he said. That's all jokes. He said, screw the side. Oh, yeah, my man, Mr. Cowboy. You know, he's a big Astro fan. So, you know, Two Guns, you know, big Boston guy. So I'm pretty sure it's all that. Baseball talk is here. So it's kind of good that you got three different teams right there. But I thought we were getting away from Alex Bregman, and then he just goes to Boston. Lord. 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 Why we got to do that? For real. The Clippers might miss the playoffs, too, if they lose to Minnesota. Bro, so like I keep saying, the Mavericks are actually forcing the situation. Ain't no tank. And you know what? Ain't no holding off till next season. Bro, you're going to have to – you don't have enough bodies, and you're going to mess around and be in the play-in. And it's really not – it's as much as the players have been playing hard, they have I will say 70% of it is the players not quitting. That is majority of the part. The other 30 is basically, bro, Phoenix don't want it. They're going to keep losing. And then you got teams in front of you that might just keep losing too. Bro, you only a game and a half behind Sacramento. So let's say Phoenix does beat Sacramento. Just like that 11th, 10th, 9th is right back jumbled. It's right back jumbled up. So basically that's the playing, that's the what to watch for in the West. You basically just got that 11th, 10th, 9th seed going at it. He said, do the Mavs hold their own draft pick for next year? Yeah, see, they hold it, but I think they only have one more for this is 25. So I think they have the 26 pick, I think. But after that, they don't have the 27, 28, or 29th pick. So 3 years after that, you have no picks. You don't control no picks. So that's why a lot of people said they should tank and go for them, but they're too far. They're in too deep. They're in too deep. Anthony Davis is being reevaluated weekly. They had their big evaluation on March 6th just to say that he's going to continue to be reevaluated weekly. But the news is he's moving around way more freely. He's participating in like 2-on-2s and stuff like that. They're actually saying everything is real positive, and if I had to put a percentage on Anthony Davis playing, I don't know, because it really don't make sense, but you're stuck. You're really stuck. So looking at it, it probably was going to take another 2 weeks but another 2 weeks, the season's about over. So really, you got about another 5 days. I think you got another 5 days to really figure out what you're going to do with Anthony Davis, because by then the season be getting close to being over. So maybe you might give it another 2 weeks. You might give it another 10 days or something like that to really find out what's going on. You know what I'm saying? But if everything keep going the way it go and they're still battling in, I think you're going to see him. If we get KD this offseason, it's over. I hope they miss the playoffs. Only problem is, do you trade for him? And Phoenix is wanting 3 number ones. Like, bro, stop. And you're not getting that. Even if that was the case, we can't do it for you. SMU got an injury. SMU still up 10, 45-35. ACC tournament second round play over the Syracuse Orange right now. So they need SMU needs a huge run in this ACC tournament to just get into the NCAA tournament. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'm with you. If you could get KD, that could help. That could help until you could hopefully get Kyrie to come back. You know, to have the post the way you could have it, and then if you still have but see, to get Kevin Durant, you're going to have to trade some pieces. And We ain't trusting what Nico is. I think he don't have it. He ain't got nothing in him to really make some moves like that, bro. Like, I think he's shell shocked. Like, there's nothing. He's gonna be gunshot to make a move. He should. He really should. He really should. He said, Mr. Cowboy, I'll be sending you highlights of Bergman. Hey, I was glad he got out the AL West, but I'm like, damn, you go to Boston, we got to play them the opening weekend. Damn, we can't get away from Alex Bregman. So it is what it is, bro. It is what it is. Mr. Cowboy be around with his Astro one ring. Oh, he got 2 rings, but one ring really count. That we say around there. SMU got a good kid from Boston on that roster. Matt Cross has been fired, bro. Like, the transfer portal has done SMU right as SMU continue to pour on the lead as they're up 12, 47, 35. About 10 and a half left in the second half. Would y'all like to see the men's basketball go to 4 quarters? I don't know if I've ever, it just does seem kind of different that they have halves and not quarters. And to me, it's like 4 turnovers in 20-minute, like not turnovers, timeouts. 4 timeouts. Bro, you got to be judicial with them timeouts. And if you burn them early, you get stuck. I think they could do something different, but hey. He said, F it, Nico might trade AD and Kyrie for KD. For KD, he's backwards as fuck, bro. And that, like I said, bro. And a lot of people made that suggestion. Do you just go ahead and trade them dudes and try to go ahead and rebuild this thing like right now, get you some draft picks? But I think Anthony Davis really wants to be up to the task. Anthony Davis comes out and play, it will be him wanting to play. Straight up. If he get hurt again, oh well, bro. You know what I'm saying? At this point, oh well, who cares? Who cares? He shouldn't much care. Oh, in and out. Couldn't get the rebound. Syracuse still down by 10. Still a lot of time left. Whoo, the women's NCAA does the 4 quarter. For real, bro. Like, I just think the men should have it too. Because, like I said, to have 4 timeouts basically in a 20-minute half, you basically hope to not only use 1 timeout. And then after that, you got enough to, use with. But damn, the time just kind of, the strategy is totally different. Who are your top 3 favorite Mavs all time? The third one is just who do I want to be the third one? And I think it's actually kind of easy. Of course, it's Dirk. Of course, it's Luka. Three I could go on with. We could go Kid. Kid would probably most likely be my third. But Nash gets heavy credit in there. I mean, Mark McGuire started his thing down here. I just wish he could have been alive to really enjoy that earlier, you know what I'm saying? Before he got traded to the Pistons. But Mark McGuire is a good one. Rolando Blackman, pioneers of it all. But I mean, Dirk, Luka. And like I said, that third one, it'd be easy for me to put J Kidd, but I have an argument with Steve Nash. I have an argument for Jason Terry. Who else? There's one more that really probably doesn't get a lot of love, but one of my favorite ones at the time, he just didn't last long. I don't know if it would qualify, but Josh Daniels was one of my favorites, though. I mean, that was Marquise Josh Howard, my bad. Josh Howard was one of my favorites. But like I said, Dirk, Luka, and like I said, that third could go in the three different people from Nash, Kidd to Terry. Easily. And the ones that'll make a solid one behind that, you got Rolando Blackman, and then you got my man Mark McGuire for sure. Jamal Mashburn, if he would have stayed, it could have been better, but hey. Oh, for sure. He said Josh Howard was for a short time, he held it down, man. They had that finals run, and it's like they fired Avery Johnson, and after that, Josh Howard he kind of just checked out. He checked all the way out, man. I hate it for him, but I think he's doing well though. You know what I'm saying? He ain't even really doing too much tripping like that. Let me jump into some baseball time. Like I said, Mikey, I look forward to having you up. I look forward to doing something on your channel, and hopefully, you do something on this channel as well, bro. Rangers did get their spring training victory as they finally was able to play the game on Victory Plus. If you haven't got it already as a Ranger fan, you might as well, because it's beautiful. Because even if you missed it, you can just replay it and you can catch all the action that what happened. And basically in this game, it got started because catch me in surprise is going down. Mr. Jock Pederson basically got things going off as he hit the first inning with a 3-run home run blast. I was able to see the replay all the way up, get the highlights of it. And I'm like, okay, yeah. Caught that thing hanging with guys on first and second, smashed that thing out of the park. But Cincinnati did ended up coming back, and they were able to basically tie it up. But then after that, our man Jonah Heimtime was able to drill in and get him a RBI to get the Rangers a 4-3 lead as they're sitting at 500 in the spring league, in the Cactus League. I'm telling y'all, for baseball, I got a lot of stuff for y'all, bro. This year is really going in, bro. For real. This year gonna be fun. The funnest of the funnest if you're into baseball. Next game will be tomorrow against San Fran. Bruce Bochy gets to see his old Giant squad, so be some things in spring training to go about. It was some news. Our man Cody Bradford, aka Cody B, man, he got him a little I think it's right arm soreness or something like that. He's going to be sit down for about 5 to 7 days for about a good solid week. And I said my lineup rotation that I think the Rangers are going to come out with to start the week, basically to start against Boston. I see Nathan Eovaldi taking the mound Thursday. Friday, I'm thinking it's going to be Tyler Mahle. I think it's going to be Tyler Mahle on the Friday game. Saturday, John Gray, I think, will be there. And then Jacob deGrom will probably finish it off Sunday. Which that's actually better to give Cody Bradford a little time, because I honestly thought Cody Bradford would be the number 4 starter if they want to put, depending how they want to put deGrom in the back of the rotation, just because you put him as the 5th starter, he's probably still able to get more rest or extra day. He's going to pick up an extra day more than not to be off. And that's good because you want to try to keep him healthy as possible, but still try to give you great quality productive innings. So I see that part going for the Rangers. What else did I want to say? Yeah, let me just bring it to the schedule right now. But Dane Dunning, like I said, it's great. It's great to see Dane Dunning really getting into action, getting back into form like he was in 2023, because I still think he's going to be called upon to do more starter roles. I would look for him to do more starting roles than Kumar Rocker or Jack Leiter. That's me personally. I think I would like Dane Dunning as a long relief pitcher, but you got so many bullpen pitchers. I think there'll be certain games if a pitcher if he gets blown up early, I think you'll see Dane Dunning, but I think Dane Dunning is going to get him a start here coming soon. And if the MRI came back negative on Cody Bradford, so they're just going to rest him up and see how he heals up. Wyatt Langford is back in the fold. If you can keep Evan Carter healthy in the fold, Josh Young, bro, their lineup is going to do some things. And Jock Pederson, man, hey, I'm pretty sure that's going to be his walkout song coming in Globe Life Field. Meet me in the mile. It's going down. He probably ain't even never listened to that song, but well, he is old enough. I'm pretty sure it's what they probably relayed to him. So, what you got, Two Guns? What you say? The Red Sox got the Yankees. Who's the Rangers' biggest? It's not even close. It's not even close. It's the Houston Astros. Now, traditionally, if you had to just say if it was in the AL West, if it was tradition-wise, it would probably be the Angels. We don't like Seattle, don't like the A's, but the Angels is, one of them. Josh Hamilton ended up going to the Angels type stuff, all that type stuff. It has its own, but it's easily the Houston Astros. It's an I-45 rivalry for a reason. It's SMU keeps putting up the fight. Up 51-38 right now. About 6.5 left in the second half. Rebound SMU. Let's go. Chew the clock. The clock is your friend. Move the rock. And use the whole shot clock. Move the rock and use but yeah, Houston Astros easily. And like I said, 2023, people might not say that World Series was anything to watch. It might not have been exciting unless you was a Ranger fan, but I'm going to be honest with you. That ALCS between the Rangers and Astros, bro, I could watch that series over and over and over again. Really, the World Series, you got like game 1 and then game 5, Seager's blast and then, them actually sealing it off. But you could go look at all 7 games of that Astros-Rangers game, bro. That was a crazy series, and it didn't do nothing but amplify it even. Bro, you saw me on X plenty of times during baseball season. Bro, I went back and forth with so many Astro fans more than anybody else going up in here, bro. Like, I'm a Cowboy fan, but, you're not really getting that much, traction from all the other fan base like that. Mavericks, all that. But when it came to the Rangers, bro, Astros was always, they be on, Rangers and Astros be trolling each other on team pages. So, yeah, bro. Yeah. Jack Leiter, they say he's starting to get, it's just about him trying to figure out to make more pitches, because as he knows, as you get in the major leagues, you have to have a certain amount of pitches. When you're young, yeah, you can throw hard. Long as if your location is on point, then yeah, you can throw hard. But after seeing your pitches twice, if they get a third or fourth at bat against you, they're gonna adjust to it. And that's just something that he's got to figure out. For sure. Your videos from the ballpark, bro. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. Hey, tune into this season. I'm locked in the Rangers this season for sure. I've been locked in for the last 2 years doing the content on the page. Really in all DFW sports, I've been kind of locked in, as you see. But this year for the Rangers, we're taking it up another level, because I think this Ranger team, if they can stay healthy, is a different team. I'm not gonna say they're going to be what the World Series was in 2023, but I do think they'll be a better team than what they were last year and the years previous to them winning the World Series. I think they're going to be a competitive team. I think if their pitching staff can stay healthy, and I mean more of Nathan Eovaldi, Jacob DeGrom, and give me can Gray stay healthy? More Cody Bradford, because I really like Cody Bradford. If you can keep three of your rotational starters in there healthy and somehow get you a closer to the end, stay healthy, I think they win the West. But Jacob DeGrom give you 22 plus starts. I think they win the West and they win 90 plus games. So SMU up 55-43. 5:20 left in the second half. Timeout, Syracuse, as they're going to be down to one timeout. One timeout. Man, y'all showing the SEC tournament. We didn't want to see that. But yeah, bro, Baseball season in effect. It's coming. It's 2 weeks out. Hear me talk about more baseball coming up here. So get ready for all that, man. We're doing that for real. What else we got now? Let's talk about some Cowboys. Cowboys. Lost players, gained players. Cowboys lost players but gained players. So, I mean, what is it to go with the Dallas Cowboys? To me, they've made moves, but they've been cheap, bro. They've really been cheap. They could have really spent some extra money. They lost Rico Dowdle. Rico Dowdle really signed for 3 years with a contract instead of, based contract that could go up to $6 million. And it's like, damn, Cowboys. So I'm pretty sure y'all were willing to offer him $3 million. What happened? Y'all couldn't give him no more incentives going in there. What's up with that? What happened with that? But hey, you see, they don't have no problem not trying to pay people, but they did, bro. They did. CD Lamb talking about the Luka trade. It was late. It was right after the David Benavidez fight. Oh man, stop opening up my scabs, bro. I don't, that shit didn't happen a while back, and it still ain't went nowhere. It still ain't went nowhere. So we done looked at all the stuff that didn't happen for the Dallas Cowboys, bro. And you looking at it, they traded for Kenneth Murray today. You know what I'm saying? For all the future, for all the Oklahoma fans out there. They went up and picked him up. I think they swapped him for a late 7th round pick. So SMU up 59-43. Basically, this game is all but over. Rebound SMU. This game is all about over, as SMU will advance. And they got to go. They basically might just have to get to the ACC tournament somehow just to get them in there. And you throw it to the bench. Come on, now is not the time to get cute. Now is not the time to get cute. But Kenneth Murray, linebacker. I'm just looking at a lot of these moves, and I just think they went so heavy on the defensive side. And I'm trying to pinpoint what are the Cowboys going to do with all these free agent moves that they got. But then you look at them, and I'm like, bro, are all these dudes actually going to make it out of camp? Kenneth Murray, I mean, you need linebackers because you need special teams help too. But you need linebackers, seriously. So to pick him up and Jack Sanborn, I don't know who Sanborn is, but he's out of Chicago, and he was under Matt Eberflus for the last 3 years. So some familiarity. Matt Eberflus knows what he can do with him, so I'll take it from there. It's said that he can play all 3 linebacker positions. That's going to be needed to pair along with Mirs Leofau. You're going to need that until Demarion Overshown can get his legs back, get his wheels back healthy. So that is something that you're going to need right there. 2 linebackers, I'll take that. Kenneth Murray was a high draft pick, I believe, at one time, and we already know about Solomon Thomas as he comes back to the DFW. You get defensive tackle help right there. Peyton Turner, I know I've heard he's been injured prone. He's really haven't been on the field that much, so he's really just a camp body, just to see if you can get any production up out of him and just push the defensive ends that you got. That's really what that is. For what I see, guard Robert Jones, he's the same way. I don't think he will make a push for anything going in here. I think they know what they want with their offensive line, and I think they're kind of comfortable with it. We like our guys. You know how Jerry is. Yeah. We like our guys. And that's what he's gonna roll with. But you got to have some depth. You got to have some bodies. As 2024 showed you, bro. You cannot have no missteps, because you start getting injured, bro. It's a snowball. But a lot of Javonte Williams, you get a running back right there. Do they believe in him good enough to let Rico go like that? If you believe in your offensive line, then maybe that's the case. But I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know, but my man Calvin Watkins, he did have an article he just wrote. He just put out for the Dallas Morning News not too long ago, basically going over what the moves that they're making. Basically, he's saying with holes to fill, Cowboys are taking the right approach by creating veteran competition. Now, will these moves work? Will be determined later, but I think we all know they making moves. They're selectively aggressive. You ain't lying. They're getting bodies, but they're not aggressively shelling out cash like that. And like I said, DeMarcus Lawrence, he ended up leaving. You know what I'm saying? You got DeMarcus Lawrence ended up leaving. That was a big blow, but for what he signed for, with Seattle, man, we not paying that. We not paying that. Who wrote this one? It was just the Sports Day staff. So what was the number again? What was the number again? Let me see. Dude played 4 games last year, bro. So, I mean, ain't too much that you could do. You kind of had to just, you know what I'm saying? I think we all knew this from the jump, bro. He was going to be gone. I don't think there was no second guessing about all this, bro. We knew he would be gone. But let me get back to Calvin Watkins. What'd he say? Basically, he's just saying, look, they're doing something, they're spending money, but they're just doing it to say they're doing it. That's really all it is. That's really all it is. Now, they did pick up another corner in Elam. Now, they saying he's an outside corner. You need a nickel corner. So do you draft that? Do they somehow trade something and go up and get Travis Hunter somehow? Do you think that'll happen? No. He ain't giving up no draft picks. But this is the time you start wheeling and dealing some things, bro. Now, Michael Parsons, he done saw everybody get paid. He done seen the Cowboys basically make some roster moves to create depth. Now he's sitting here saying it's time for him to get paid. It's time for the line to eat. He's saying it's time for the line to eat. And I'm in agreement. Calvin Watkins did say Elam plays some slot, but he's mainly fits on the outside. So Kalen Carson, that was a guy who showed promise, but he kind of fizzled off at the same time. He remains an option to be at the corner spot, and then you got Keeman Hall and then Josh Butler. So they kind of like those guys still, but they got to have some more depth. Jordan Lewis leaving, that really hurt. What he does say, the Cowboys have time to find a slot corner, so there's no reason to panic. Meanwhile, the linebacker position is interesting. DeMarion Overshown, the off-ball linebacker who has dazzled in 2 injury-filled seasons, is out again for an undetermined length of time. You lost Zach Martin, but Overshown was walking around the star without crutches, so that's a good sign. And we know they got Kenneth Murray Jr. They picked him up. They got Jack Sanborn. So they just went heavy on the defensive side. They had picked up a lot of folks on the defensive side to make things happen. They're saying Eberflus was at Georgia's Pro Day checking out pass rusher Michael Williams. So you think they could keep building up on the defensive line? I mean, are they going to go defense heavy in the draft? I don't know. I think that's to remain to be seen. But like I said, people, am I going to sit here and say the Cowboys, they made great moves? I'm not going to say they didn't make great moves, but I'm not going to say they made bad moves, but I'm not going to sit here and say they made moves that are going to make them a championship contender. That's going to get them to the NFC championship game. No, I'm not saying that. I'm not going to say that. Man, this season was beyond ass. They say Rod Dillingham is the next Kyrie. Bruh. See, when they start comparing folk, that be happening. You just made a live come on, bruh. Did you do it with the what's your face? I know you must have some type of Apple or something like that, but I know you're able to make all these AI designs, some things that's coming out with it, do some things. So, but nah, man, looking at it as SMU is basically about to advance in the ACC tournament. Cowboys still got a ways to fill in, but the moves that they're making makes me think, okay, what I could see happening, they could go corner, but I honestly think it's going to be a pass rusher or it's going to be a receiver. Pass rusher or receiver. And they still got money if they were able to somehow make a shape move. You still got Cooper Kupp who's available. You still got Amari Cooper who's available. You can still make some moves if you're the Dallas Cowboys. You can still do that. As this game is coming to a wrap, and I'm pretty sure it'll be more Cowboy news coming here through the pipe. I just think they went so heavy on defense where I'm like, okay, I still think they might get another linebacker / defensive lineman type player. Like, for real. I think they could still add to the defense, but I wouldn't be surprised. I think they should get a receiver. Looking at it now, they should get a receiver. Because you let Rico walk, you got Javonte Williams in there. Okay, I get it, but nah, you're going to need some more offensive weapons. So I see them looking at receiver. They might make another move or two on the defensive side because I see they're filling a lot of roles over there on the defensive side. And I think they're going to try to roll with what they got going forth there. So that's that part. What else we got? Dallas Stars, huh? Dallas Stars. How many times you heard me sit here on these lives and say power rankings in the DFW, the Dallas Stars are sitting at the top. You've heard me say that a lot, fam. And my man Kevin Sheridan, he basically solidified what I've been saying. Let me get to his article real quick. He got a clean animation on it too, but y'all can just look at the animation real quick. This is how it go. See how it is? I mean, when Nico really came in here, bro, he was really making hay. Bro. It wasn't too many moves he was missing on. Now, like I said, the Rangers has actually won the whole thing. So that's why they're sitting in the lead. They got one of these. You know what I'm talking about? They got one of these. So it's easier for them to sit in the lead. It's easy. It's easier. They done actually done something. But this graphic is just like, bro, Nico, you really had everything going for you until you made this dumbass move. And that set you all the way back to the pack, even behind Jerry and Steven Jones. Bro, you got the fuck up when you do some stuff like that. But Jim Neal, though, like I said, since basically 2019, bro, I keep repeating this. Since 2019, the Stars have seen a Stanley Cup Finals appearance. And then I believe after that, them been to 2 consecutive Western Conference Finals back to back. And this year, they were already playing good enough with the injuries that they done had to Tyler Seguin, Miro Heiskanen, and then, Rope Henston got, stitched up, hit with a puck, all that type of stuff. You got that going on. They traded Logan Staykogan, but they ended up getting Mikko Rantanen. So you got a goal scorer that can end up helping you out. You ended up getting somebody that is going to help you produce more goals that just made you better. That's where the Stars put themselves in position where, look, we're really trying to get over the hump. Now, we're trying to actually do everything possible to get over the hump. They brought Dumba in, try to get some more defensive style in there. So, hey, the Stars, though, but he writes in here, until the Luka deal, Nico was in the running for best GM in the market. He's been since lapped by both Jim Neal and Chris Young, though he remains ahead of Jerry Jones, who's been running the wrong direction for 30 years. And that's the only reason why he's in the back. As usual, Jerry's under heavy fire for not wanting to throw big money at anyone other than his own, and even then, only when it's too late. Unlike last year, when he told us he was all in, then basically sat out the free agents market. He's shopping these days. Okay. Besides bringing Kevontae Turpin back, the Cowboys signed Solomon Thomas. They got Peyton Turner. What else they end up getting? As I'm just skimming through his article real quick. Meanwhile, Jerry, would it hurt to kick the tires on Amari Cooper? That's what I just said. I'm just now getting to this article, so I should start skimming these articles. But you know what to do, blind reading to it. That'll be good though. Think of what Jim Neal might do if only he ran the Cowboys. Would it matter if he didn't know a tackle from a tight end? The Cowboys have been at loose ends for 30 years. Take the chances, basically. So, like Rossman, Neal does everything well, lest you forget. First, his big move was to trade for Tyler Seguin. And then that helps, as you know, his trust in Neal is well earned. And then, like you said, just how big was the trade for Mikko Rantanen? That was a big trade. You know, he's a Finland guy. So the Stars are notorious for getting Finland, just like the Mavericks are for getting European players. The Stars are notorious for having that Finland pipeline connection. So I think we got like 4 of them. You got what? Miro, Rope, you add Miko on there. Yeah. He said just how big it knocked the Mavs and Cowboys off the top of the sports page. That's how big the Mikko Rantanen trade was. Only people not into hockey like that. You know, to each his own. But he said Neal's latest move gives him the lead by nose over Chris Young. I've said it, bro. I want to put the Rangers. I could put the Rangers at the top just because they have won it all here recently. But the Stars have been the most consistent DFW team in the Metroplex. And Kevin Sheridan, Dallas Morning sports beat writer, basically confirms everything what I've been saying, especially when it comes to the Dallas Stars. Now, I'm telling you, the TCU women's basketball squad has a lot to say with that. As it's coming down to a minute left, SMU is up 68-51 as they get ready to close this. But what do you say? You're only as good as your next championship trophy. So Jerry can only talk about the Lombardis with Jimmy's fingerprints all over him. But hey, you know, he talked about the Rangers, how the Rangers end up doing it with Chris Young, how he was able to do it. But the world's tallest GM hates losing, and you saw he made moves to do something. Which brings us back to Nico. I don't know why. You know what? I don't even want to go here, bro. I don't even want to read the rest of Nico. We get it. We get it. But I told you since 2019, bro. I mean, Jerry for the Cowboys, his basically highlight was 21, 22, 23, where you got 3 12-5 seasons. And what do you have to show for it? 1 playoff victory. So that shows you why he's in the back. He's in the back. But like I said, you got to give Chris Young his credit because he made moves, brought people. Nathan Eovaldi, Jacob deGrom, Marcus Semien, Corey Seager. Like, you bring these guys. Bro, I promise you, if they were in the old ballpark that is now Choctaw Stadium, you would not have them pitchers here because it'd be too damn hot. But once they got them a new stadium, they actually did something and they won in it. And that's kind of a reason why I can still keep them over the top. But they really only had 1 good year while being in Globe Life Field. 2023 was their best year. Obviously, they won it all, but I'm just saying since Globe Life Field opened up. So I think that's where Jim Neal can lapse Chris Young right there because, like I said, since 2019, bro. I'm just saying the Stars in general, since 2019, they have been pushing for championship contention. And like I said, the last 2 years, They just done lost in the Western Conference Finals in 6 games. Getting Mikko Rantanen, yeah, this is a move to say, look, we're winning the Western Conference Finals and let the chips fall where they may when we go play for the Stanley Cup Finals. And now I think the odds are starting to favor the Stars in winning the Stanley Cup. But I saw the headline. I just didn't read the article from Kevin Sheridan. But once I saw the animation on how it was going, I was like, bro, he's basically gonna say everything what I've been saying. The Stars have been the most consistent. As you see, Jim Neal just keeps moving up. Now, Nico could have been at the forefront, but his ass wanted to do some dumb stuff. It is what it is. I want to put more respect on Kyrie. You know what I'm saying? I damn near said Brandon Williams was doing some Kyrie stuff today, and I really felt like I disrespected Kyrie for that. But I'm just saying. There go the Qs basically giving their hugs, getting ready for the NIT tournament. As SMU is up 70-53 with 49 seconds left in the second round of the ACC tournament, as SMU will march on. If they can get in the NCAA tournament, bro, that will be huge for the city of Dallas, bro, to have SMU football get into the playoff and then SMU basketball get to the tourney at the same time. NCAA women's basketball, you're going to have TCU up in there. Women's basketball, bro. It's going up in the DFW, man. We having fun around here, man. I'm trying to see how I'm gonna do this. I'll be thinking about live game streaming. It just depends what mood it is. I'll probably end up doing a lot more baseball streaming. Damn, SMU hits another 3. Shooting them out the gym. 26 seconds left. 73-53. Ponies. Shoot him out the gym. That boy called bank. Hit it off the bank from 30. Shoot him out the gym. But yeah, like Maverick games, until the Mavericks get fully healthy, I don't even want to say fully healthy. If you could get PJ, Daniel Gafford, or Anthony, well, that's basically healthy. But if you can get them coming back, then I'll start doing some Mav live stream games. I got to hit y'all with a Stars live stream game one time. You know what I'm saying? And I still need to hit up a Mavs game. So final buzzer for SMU as they get a 20-point victory. They get their 23rd victory of the year as they're 23-9. Like I said, they're going to have a deep ACC tournament running. They're going to have to beat like 2 quality teams that's in the ACC to possibly get that invitation to the NCAA tournament. So big up to the Ponies right there. That's their first conference tournament quarterfinal since 2022. So, the year before that, they were in, what was it? The All-American Conference. So they're moving up. They're doing things, but we can get more fully healthy. I'll probably start doing the stream. I think I'm only going to probably do stream games if it's a late game, if it's like a 9 o'clock game, one of them West Coast games, or a weekend. I'll probably do it that way. Weekday, I'll probably just give you the post game, and then after the post game, we'll just keep rapping a whole bunch about DFW sports. So I'm gonna keep touching the whole spectrum of what's going on because there's always something going on in the DFW that way. So that's how we're gonna do it. But yeah, man, that's all I got for y'all today, man. I had to get some things off my chest. The Mavericks take a 10-point L against San Antonio. They'll rebound and get ready to play their I-45 rival down south against the Houston Rockets. Hopefully PJ can be available, and hopefully we get more better news about Anthony Davis and Daniel Gafford, also Derek Lively as well. So hopefully you get good news on that forefront. The Rangers, they ended up taking their win. They'll be in action tomorrow in spring training against the San Francisco Giants. I can't remember who's going to take the mound, but we did have the injury front about Cody Bradford. He does have some soreness in his arm, but at the same time, they gave him an MRI, came back clean. He's just going to have some rest. That's good news for the pitching staff going for the Texas Rangers, as well as the Dallas Cowboys. They pick up some more folk. They get a corner in Elam. They get a couple of linebackers, and they trade a 7th for Kenneth Murray Jr., and they get what's his name? I forgot his name. I forgot his name. Jack Sanborn. So you got those two linebackers. So you get linebacker depth. You already know what they got at defensive tackle, but you get corner, linebacker, and another defensive end. And then you already know they went and got guard, running back. They didn't get no receiver. So we're thinking they could get Amari Cooper, but the more they're staying away from receiver lets me know the Cowboys are drafting receiver. You know what? More looking at it right now, I think the Cowboys with the number 12 pick, they're going to draft a receiver. I think that's where it's going to go. Looking more at these picks, what they're filling in free agency, I believe that they're going to draft a receiver. That's what I'm saying. But as we get closer to the draft, we'll find out. So you had all those. You had Tank Lawrence, DeMarcus Lawrence. Thanks for your service, my guy. You know what I'm saying? Big salute to you. He takes his career to Seattle. He gets to do his thing over there. Big salute to you. Get that bag. Rico Dattle, he goes to Carolina. Get that bag, bro. Do what you got to do. Much salute to you as well. So you lose a couple bodies right there, but at least at the same time, they replaced them. They did get another, defensive end. They did get another running back. But I think they're going to draft receiver. For them to not even address it in free agency and with the players that you have out that's now and the money that you got, come on, man. Hopefully they'll get Micah Parsons here done early, but I'm going out to say they're picking receiver at 12 unless they trade out of it. That's what I'm taking. And I told you about the Dallas Stars. They won't be in action until Friday, but they are Friday or is it Saturday? But they, to me, are the cream of the crop of the DFW. If you had to go power rankings, I'd have to go Dallas Stars. I'd have to go TCU women's basketball. I'd go Texas Rangers. I go SMU men's basketball as of right now. And then I'll go FC Dallas, then I'll go Cowboys, then I'll go Mavericks. And then the Dallas Wings are so much in transition right now. Yeah, that's that way. Oh, we've been on the tube for an hour, man. It's about 11 o'clock on my time, Central Standard Time, man. Tomorrow is no DFW sports game days, but if there's some big things that's happening, we might pop up with a live. We might end up taking tomorrow off. I don't know how this is going to go. I mean, it is Ranger spring training action, so we could possibly look over that game and do some stuff like that. So we're going to try to keep making sure we show our face up to y'all all the time. So, man, that's all I got for y'all today, man. We talked about the Mavs and Spurs tonight. We talked about the Rangers spring training and, what they got going on. And we talked more about Cowboys free agency. And we talked about why the Dallas Stars are the number one team in the DFW. So that's my little wrap, my spiel that I have for y'all tonight, man. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Like I said, man, hit that like button. Go ahead and subscribe. Hit that notification chime for your boy. Follow me on X at Drewski Selfmade. We're going to keep up more conversation and dialogue about DFW sports, man. If you're catching this on the playback, if you didn't catch it live, but you're catching this on the playback, man, hit that like button. Go ahead and share it. And if you want, go ahead and drop a comment one time and get this up in the algorithm. We can do some more things. Like I said, baseball season, I'm going to have on lock this year, but I'm trying to get more and more in DFW sports. I'm just trying to find my format, and I think I just got to give y'all a daily dose of what goes down all the time, but make sure I always give y'all post-game action and also fade it off to DFW sports. It's kind of like how you would always hear your local radio station do about all sports, but I'm just keeping it funky for the fans, how we go. So until the next time, man, y'all already know where to find me, everywhere to find me. We'll see what we'll do coming here tomorrow if we'll take the night off and just get ready for the weekend, because it's going to be a lot of sports, and that's probably what we'll do. We'll probably just kick it with the family unless we get some big news that come down that just got to be talked about. If anything, man, y'all see my email. Y'all know where I'm at on X. If y'all got any topics y'all want to talk about or anything like that, man, don't hesitate to hit me up. Let me know, and we can discuss about it. So y'all already know the slogan, do everything with love, because love always wins. That's the law. With that, I'm out, y'all. Peace.
Self-made independent hoe, I'm all about my business. I consistently continue to bring energy and on that keep it popping like I'm full of electricity. Try to hold me out, I wish you would have the audacity. Take a reflexive, now I'm shitting on the industry. Self-made not a title, cause it's my identity, and wear it on my skin like it's a part of my ethnicity. infinity. Mary keep on blowing like instruments in the symphony. That keep a player buzzing like Twitter when you mention me. Being 100's a everyday living tendency, and ain't faced by hating, it makes me increase my intensity.